Hi. So, I'm just going to jump in. I have been feeling fear around this like upcoming moon circle. And as I was like writing it, I wrote it like way earlier and way faster than I usually do. And I was like, yeah, I don't think this is it. And when, as it got closer, I was like, no, I think this is it. I don't know. And I like wasn't really feeling it. And I don't know, it came in waves. Like when I wrote it, I was feeling it. And then after a few days had passed, I was like, no, I don't know. And then when I like, as it got closer, I sat down to rewrite it and I wrote the same thing. Or I started rewriting it and I realized I was writing the same thing, like the same messages were coming through. So I was like, okay. And so I reread what I had written and I was like, no, yeah, this hits. Okay, I like it. And then after that, I was just like, no, wait, yeah, I don't know. This one, it's not as, and I was like, I'm not feeling it, I'm not feeling it. And then I was like, it's not as good as the last one. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that's like what the actual problem is. And the thing is, I have been hesitating with this moon circle for like weeks. And I do these once a month. So to be hesitating on it for weeks is like a long ass time because I do one every 4 weeks. So yeah, any amount of like weeks plural is too long to be hesitating on it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I've been hesitating on it though, and the fear is failure. It's like my old friend, my fear of failure is like showing up, and I'm like, I don't want to do it. Like, I was like, I don't want to do this moon circle. I thought about canceling it. And then the perfect excuse showed up too because I got sick. Not with uh, the, you know, the one sickness we're all worried about at this moment, but I got like, I don't know, it was weird. I got sick and I was under the weather. And uh, yeah, I was like, oh, awesome, I can cancel it because I'm not feeling good. And this was like a couple days ago when I was like starting to really feel not well. And I was like, no, like you might be better by the time it rolls around. And the thing is, I'm just scared to do it. I'm scared it's not going to be as good as the last one. And so today I was thinking about it. It's like, I'm gonna fucking show up and do it. I was like, it's like I was thinking about canceling it, but I knew, like, even though I was like kind of entertaining that thought, I knew, like, deep down in the foundation, I was like, we're not gonna fucking cancel this. We're not gonna fucking cancel it. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna let it suck. That's what we're gonna do. If you're scared of failing, you're scared it's gonna be worse than the last one, then you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna show up and let it be like absolutely abysmal. We're gonna show up and with your face like live on a camera, you're gonna just do the worst moon circle you've ever done. And it's decided, so you can stop worrying about it. Like you're gonna show up, and if it's the worst moon circle you've ever done, then that's what it's gonna be. And I think like how I got to that conclusion or that decision was this morning I woke up and I was just like, if you're scared of failing, you need to fail more. And I think that's true. And it feels almost like so obvious to me. Like, yeah, if you're scared of failing, the fear of failure is kind of a unique fear in that way. And it's like, it's like, I almost said aversion therapy. I think it's immersion immersion therapy, where it's like, oh, if you're scared of a spider, they make you like fucking look and hold a bunch of spiders until you're not scared of it anymore. I think fear of failure works like that. And I'm not saying that's the answer to a fear of spiders, because like I sure as fuck would not do that. But it would probably work after a matter of time. But like, yeah, it's scary. And I think like immersion therapy, it's immersion makes sense. Aversion also sounds right because they kind of rhyme, but I'm gonna go with immersion because you're immersing yourself in that fear. So I'm assuming that's what it's called. But anyway, immersion therapy sounds, it's scary because you're literally facing it head on. And I think that's not really the solution to all fears, because like it's intense. But I think with failure, it kind of is, at least for me. I think that's the way to do it. And maybe that is the way for you too, because I've been avoiding failing my whole life, and the fear of failure is still there. So I'm like, why not just give it a shot and just try failing a bunch of times, and see how that goes. And I think it's gonna work. And I feel like it's gonna work because it's so the opposite of what I've been doing for my whole life. And, avoiding it hasn't worked. Avoiding it has only made that fear stronger. Not getting, that taste of failure early on enough times has made me scared of it. Like, it hurts really bad when I do fail, even when the fail is minor. You know what I'm saying? But I think if I had a history of like epically failing, I wouldn't be scared of it. And so I think that's the solution, is to just be brave enough to fail the first few times, and fail kind of big if you can. The bigger the better, honestly, because if you fail really big early on in what you're doing, you're not going to be scared of it down the line. And if you already have a fear of failure, the solution is still the same thing. It's just a little bit harder to start failing if you haven't been failing. So, that like, it makes sense to me. It makes sense in my head. So I'm hoping that translated well into words. But yeah, it's just like an interesting thing to look at. And it's weird to think like, that like the problem in my head right now is like, oh, I've been too successful. Which is such a fucking joke. But when I say successful, I'll like tell you what I mean, because it does not apply in all the definitions of success. But when I say I've been too successful in the recent past, it's like the last couple moon circles were good, and I haven't done that many. So all of the moon circles I've done, I've been fine, and like some of them have been like really good, shockingly good actually. Like I finished them and I'm just like, what the fuck just happened? Like, what did you just say? That was crazy. How did you come up with that? And that, like, it being that good shocked me, and I wasn't ready for it. And I was like expecting it to be at a certain level, and all of a sudden it just like got really good out of nowhere. Because I was doing them privately for a while, and I've only done a few of them publicly. And so the private ones were fine. They were like mediocre, or like kind of like, yeah, I would say mediocre. They were like, okay. I'm thinking back to them, I'm like, looking back at them, they were probably bad, but like, at the time I was like, yeah, that was like fine. But then the last couple months have just been like so like honestly like weirdly good, like uncharacteristically good. And so that level of success out of nowhere really fucked up my gauge of like, it fucked up like my scale of what I need to be putting out every month. And uh, and so yeah, 2 in a row have been really good. Maybe 3, I don't remember. I know the last 2 have been really good. So yeah, with this one, like, of course I was scared because the last 2 were so good and I didn't do anything special to get them that good. They just happened to be that good. And I did the same process for this one and I didn't like it as much. And so I think the only solution is to just let it be bad. And I know that sounds like a weird thing to say, like, oh, just let it be bad. Because it's like, you know, like the alarms in like the modern spiritual brain, and it's like going off like, oh, don't label it, don't call it bad, you're manifesting it as bad. And it's like shut the fuck up, because like none of that is like real. If me saying like, oh, let it be bad is gonna manifest it as bad, if that, like, that's not how fucking manifesting works. Because if all it takes to make the moon circle bad is to say, oh, I'm just gonna let it be bad, do you know how many like fucking billions of dollars I would have? Because the number of times I've said, oh, I wish I had $1 billion, I've said that a lot. Or like, yeah, so it's like that's not how manifesting works. Like, I don't need to be scared of saying, oh, I'm just gonna let it be bad, that's the solution. It's like, I think that really is the mentality I need to have. It's like being so okay with it just like bombing, like being so bad in front of people, to just like failing, not privately, but in front of people on a live thing that I can't redo. It's like, yeah, that's the way to go. That's how you get over your fear of failure, is just like bombing, doing something, following an act that you think is hard to follow, even when that act is you. That's how you do it. And I think that's how you that's how you build the strength to do this stuff. It's like you gotta fall down. You gotta like, and it's like when you learn to play guitar and stuff, it's like it hurts your fingers first, but then you build up those calluses. So it's like that. It's like building the callus for failure. And I think that's fine, because if you're gonna do anything great, you're gonna have to fail a lot. And so the more comfortable you can be with failing, the easier it's gonna be to do that great work. And if you're uncomfortable with failing, if you have a fear of failure, doing that great work is gonna be really hard. It's not even gonna be challenging. I don't like using the word hard, but it's gonna be hard. It's not gonna be challenging. It's gonna be like, I wanna give up. I can't do this kind of hard, because those failures are required on the way to the great work. And if you're too scared to fail even a little bit, you're not going to get there. It's just not going to happen. And this is like the same vein of that like video I did a while ago that was mistakes and magic. It's like you can't get to the magic without making mistakes, because they both come from the same place, the unknown. So it's like you just got to get really comfortable with failing. And I'm hitting up against my edge right now. And I just wanted to share that because it's really uncomfortable. and yeah, I thought maybe this might help someone else. So I just wanted to talk about it. But yeah, the main theme here was, if you're scared of failing, fail more. Fail until you're not scared of failing anymore. Because if you fail enough times, you won't really be scared anymore. All right. Hope this made sense. I'll talk to you later.